18 Degrees, formerly Berkshire Children and Families, a well-known social service agency in the region, has been expanding. And that trend continues tomorrow in the Pioneer Valley when the organization launches a new office in West Springfield. I sat down with 18 Degrees Vice President of Programs, Stephanie Steed, to learn more.
We know that the work we do encompasses more than just children and families, and we're not just in the Berkshires. So when we thought about a name change, we really wanted to be reflective of that. And 18 Degrees is symbolic. It is the point in the horizon when the sun just breaks day. So it is really representative of all new things that can happen in a brand new day, a brand new start, kind of like a refresh for the people who participate in our programs.
That's a lovely perspective. I really like that.
Very nice.
And it matches, it makes sense now for the sunbeam that's on
Yes.
most of your materials.
Yes.
So how do you help people to understand that Berkshire Children and Families, obviously long-standing name there in the Berkshires, something that people became comfortable with? How are you working to reacquaint them with the fact that, okay, you're doing a lot of the same services under this new mantle?
Well, I think that's part of what helps that reacquaintance is that it's a reintroduction of a name, but not a reintroduction of the service. So the people are well aware of the work we do. It's still the great services. We've even added some additional ones. So when they're familiar with a program or one of our staff members because of the help that they've offered, that's really the mainstay. And then we just get to add the bonus of reinforcing the names and why we're doing the work.
And you mentioned programs. West Main Connection is one of those newer programs, right?
Correct.
What's the aim of the work under that mantle?
Well, with West Main Connections, we really hope to be out in the community, really connect with young adults who have either been victim to or maybe even participated in some kind of challenging lifestyle. So we want to make a difference in the intervention work. We want to give them a place to stand, to land, to connect with mentors, to connect with each other, and really see their community from a different perspective.
And the age group that you're working with there is 17 to 24, is that correct?
Yes.
So maybe they might be in high school, they might be just out of high school.
Right.
And you mentioned, challenging circumstances. So are you talking about choices that they've personally made, or are you talking about maybe they come from a broken home or they're living on their own even?
I think it's a combination of both. Sometimes the choices that young adults have to make are a result of the unfortunate circumstances of their living environments. So it's not easy to tease one from the other. We certainly don't want to discourage anyone from participating, whether it be because they made a bad decision personally or because they had a very negative or a traumatic experience in their family or upbringing.
One of the things I understand about the program is that you're working with skills for these young people. What's maybe one skill or a few skills that you're helping them to understand in case someone's listening and they think, oh, maybe I fit, maybe I don't?
Sure. We do a lot of workforce training. That's one of the mandates. So we really try to help the young adults who are participating tap into what their interests are. We work hard to try to match them not just with mentors, but with community members where they can look for employment. One of the unique factors in the sites that we have in North Adams is having a washer and dryer in the site.
No lugging a bag and quarters
exactly.
to a laundromat, right?
And especially if some of the young adults have complicated living environments or they don't have a permanent place to stay, it's hard to present your best self if you can't present your best self. So that's one of the easy fixes that we've offered. And you think it's easy, but it's one of the things that you don't necessarily think about.
Yeah.
So having a place where you can just come do your laundry so that you can be prepared for the interview or you can be prepared to go to school.
It's a huge first step.
It's a huge first step.
If you're not feeling like, you're not feeling your most confident self.
Exactly.
I think it might be harder to take that step even if there is the job that you're interested in.
Right. So it's really one of those things, and it's been used quite often. So it's a nice way to bring somebody in. Maybe they didn't want to come in to talk, but they needed to do laundry. Now you're inside, and we can really make a connection and get to know you.
a few other programs that I noticed on the website that jumped out to me. And one is called, let me find it, Live Out Loud for LGBTQ. And I understand that focuses on ages 13 to 17-year-olds. What's happening in that space? What's happening with that program?
Well, that's one of our programs that is hosted at our Family Resource Center. So our Family Resource Center really encompasses an array of activities. So we really sought out, again, to tap into some people, some communities, some young adults who are underserved in their spaces, and that group gives, again, the community where maybe they didn't have another place to connect, to convene, to celebrate, a place to do all those things. So our Family Resource Center is a really unique space. So we have groups for a lot of folks who feel like they don't have any other place to connect with each other.
You also offer parenting programs, and one program is Parenting Children with Challenging Behaviors.
Yes.
What are some of the behaviors that you're looking at in a class like that?
Oftentimes when we have children with challenging behaviors, it's some kind of a dysregulation of their emotions. They maybe had some kind of traumatic experience. Maybe they lived away from their parents. Maybe they are displaced from home. Maybe they're struggling with mental health issues. So all that comes out in ways where it's a challenge, where maybe they don't know how to cope well. Maybe they don't have the trust in the adults around them. So we really work with parents and others who are involved in their lives to really set the stage for being a reassuring person in their lives.
So we've been focusing on the Berkshires, but you're also in the Valley,
Yes,
and you're about to open a new office in West Springfield.
Yes.
What's going on there?
We had a site in Hadley, and we're moving to West Springfield. We're hoping to be much more accessible to some of the people we serve, and it's a really great space.